Urgent. An important update has just dropped. The Chicago Cubs have just made a decision that nobody saw coming, and it has sent the fan base into a frenzy because this is a move that could have major consequences. I'll tell you everything right now, but first, hit that like button, because here you'll follow everything that happens with the boys in blue. Cubs fans, if you thought the organization's next moves would only be about adding reinforcements and making potential trades before the crucial stretch of the season, this news completely changes the picture. The Chicago Cubs have made a surprising decision and released Liam Hendriks from the organization, leaving the experienced right-handed pitcher available on the market once again. The veteran, a three-time All-Star and one of the most experienced arms available on the market, has been released by the Cubs, and the most shocking part is that this happened after a performance that seemed to suggest exactly the opposite. And there's one detail in this story that makes everything even more intriguing. Hendriks was coming off an extremely positive performance for the Iowa Cubs, the AAA affiliate, and just when it seemed like he was building a strong case for an opportunity on the major league roster, his time with the organization came to an end. Now, the 37-year-old veteran will have the chance to explore his options and decide what the next chapter of his career will look like. According to the information available on the Iowa Cubs transaction page, Liam Hendriks and fellow veteran Aaron Bummer were released by the organization. Both players had joined the Cubs system as free agents after the season had already begun, but neither of them is officially part of the organization anymore. The most likely explanation for what happened is related to the opt-out clauses included in minor league contracts. In certain situations, when a player does not receive a promotion to the major league roster by a specific date outlined in his contract, he may have the right to exercise an opt-out clause and return to the free agent market. And that may be exactly what happened with Hendriks. The timing is even more surprising because, based solely on his recent performance, there didn't seem to be much reason to expect such a sudden departure. In his first 4 appearances with the Iowa Cubs, Hendriks did not allow a single run. The pitcher worked 4 scoreless innings, giving up just 1 hit and 1 walk while recording 5 strikeouts. The numbers were impressive. Hendriks finished that brief stretch with a .063 batting average against and a 0.40 whip. For a pitcher with his experience and track record at the highest level of baseball, those numbers could certainly be viewed as extremely encouraging signs. In reality, it looked like Hendriks was doing exactly what he needed to do to prove that he could still contribute. That's why some Cubs fans were expecting the veteran to eventually receive an opportunity in Chicago's bullpen. After all, a long season requires depth, and having an experienced arm available can be extremely valuable when the games become more meaningful. But instead of a promotion, the Cubs and Hendriks parted ways. Now, Hendriks becomes a free agent and will have the opportunity to speak with other organizations. And it would certainly not be surprising if teams showed interest in a player who, despite his age, has built a respected career and has extensive experience in high-pressure situations. There is even a possibility that the Chicago Cubs could reconnect with the pitcher after he tests the free agent market. The door is not necessarily closed forever. But for now, Hendriks' future remains far from certain. And he wasn't the only veteran to leave the organization. Aaron Bummer was also released by the Cubs, in a move that puts 2 experienced pitchers back on the market and available to other teams. In Bummer's case, however, his performance with the Iowa Cubs was far less convincing. The left-handed pitcher allowed 4 runs on 6 hits, recording 3 strikeouts over 4 innings across 4 appearances. Unlike Hendriks, Bummer struggled to keep opposing hitters under control and ended up allowing runs in 3 of his 4 outings. The numbers reflect those struggles. Bummer posted a 1.50 whip, while opposing hitters batted .333 against him during his time at AAA. On top of that, his underlying metrics also suggested that the veteran still needed to find more consistency before being ready for a potential promotion to the major league roster. Among the numbers that stand out are a .449 xWOBA, a .739 expected slugging percentage, a 15.8% strikeout rate, a 26.7% barrel rate, and a 95.5% zone contact rate. In other words, while Hendriks appeared to be building a strong case for an opportunity, Bummer was unable to produce at the same level. Still, just like Hendriks, Bummer could potentially return to the organization if the free agent market does not present a more appealing opportunity. And the changes within the Iowa Cubs organization didn't stop there. The organization also released Kyle Wright last weekend. The pitcher had signed a minor league contract with the Cubs in early February but, interestingly enough, never appeared in a game this season. All of this is happening at an extremely important point in the Chicago Cubs season. The season is moving forward, the pressure is increasing, and every roster decision can carry significant weight. The bullpen and pitching depth remain areas that deserve attention, especially as a team enters the most demanding stretch of the schedule. And that is exactly why Liam Hendriks' departure has sparked so much discussion among Cubs fans. A veteran with experience, a respected resume, and someone who had just thrown 4 scoreless appearances is now out of the organization. The big question is, did the Cubs really let an opportunity to strengthen their bullpen slip away, Or did Hendriks simply decide that it was time to look for a new opportunity somewhere else? The market will now provide the answer. And Cubs fans, I want to know what you think. Would you like to see the Chicago Cubs try to bring Liam Hendriks back to strengthen the bullpen before the crucial stretch of the season? Yes or no? Now it's time for Cubs fans to speak up. Leave your answer down below and join the conversation. And remember, right here on the channel you'll follow the rumors, trade talks, signings, and all the latest Chicago Cubs news as soon as it happens.